have a new intro video. What is that, Brand?
Look at that 2021 new stuff happening over here.
Yeah. Welcome aboard, everybody, to EMP Review. It is your host, Chauncey, with chef and entrepreneur Whitmer Brandy. Brandy.
Hey, how are you?
And we're joined off cam by EMP Drea. So if you're here with us, wherever you are, you can always comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know questions at any time. We are checking those, and we will respond, won't we, Brandy?
We will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, to tell these people, level with these folks, Brandy, about what EMP is, what membership is. Come on now.
Yes, there we go. So Entrepreneur Meal Plan is a community for entrepreneurs interested in doing business and life well. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, you know how hard it is to stop grinding and take care of yourself. So our community is all about reminding people building a legacy to make sure that they have their health at the end so they can appreciate the fruits of their labor. So what does that mean in tangibles? Entrepreneur Meal Plan is a place where you can come and get meal plans, literal meal plans, plant-based specific. They come with recipes, meal plans, and shopping lists. You get access to this fun weekly review of people who are interested in riding out that journey with you. There's resources, other special events, and just a good community of folks who aren't interested in running themselves in the ground as they're building up their legacy.
Yeah. And what if you're not an entrepreneur? What if you're just a business person or you just working? Can you join? Would you still get some benefit from this?
Totally. So like in my mind, entrepreneurs are all innately leaders. So the thought process is that this is beneficial to a leader, even if you haven't committed to entrepreneurship. So to say, leading a team, leading your family, there's a benefit to being able to find work-life balance. And one of the coolest benefits about this place is like, we're talking about a meal plan. We're talking about literally ways that we can inject more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains into our diet simply. And then also foods that we can feed our mind to just help us manage life in a way that just feels a little better. So even if you're not an entrepreneur, you can benefit from this community.
Yeah, and it's $30.23 per quarter.
Yes.
Right? You got any deals though?
Well, that is a deal right now. Now we may have some flash sales coming up or, popping in from time to time. But right now it is $30.23 for the quarter. So that's a little over a little over $10 a month.
Yes, exactly. So very good with that. And now this month, we did it last week. You're making me do it again.
Don't say it like you don't like it.
It's KALEuary, really.
Yes,
really.
It's KALEuary.
Why is it KALEuary? Why are we doing this to January? It didn't do anything to us.
Listen, kale is an option. Number one, people love kale. Some people love kale, people don't love kale. But what I like about kale is that kale is an alternate source of vitamin C. And a lot of times during this time of year, people are trying to figure out how do they boost their immune system. And vitamin C has so many benefits for the cognitive functioning of the brain. And so as entrepreneurs, I felt like it would be a good idea to kick off the year with a food that activates the mind and boosts the immunity.
Very good. Yeah. Now, with that said, today, it's kale falafel. So let me read this whole title. Baked kale falafel over a bed of mixed greens with spicy avocado sauce. So you got to ruin it in the end.
Your favorite. Listen, I know you have issues with avocado, but when you're doing spice, avocado helps to cool it down if you need a little bit of balance. And it's the alternate to, milk, which is what most people go to, like sour cream or cheese or something like that.
Yeah, I don't dislike avocado. I just don't like it. So I'm somewhere in the middle. And I think this avocado craze, it amuses me. I'm glad that people enjoy it, though. I am glad. You can do spicy hummus sauce.
Agreed.
and then, we got it. But anyway, now that we've worked through my issue, we will come there, Brandy, as well. Now we got to get into this, and we do have a nice little video on how to make a falafel, right, Brandy? So that'll be interesting to see, and then you'll also tell us how to use that and to create this entire dish. So as we're going through, remember, everybody, questions, comments, let us know. Hey, Renee, how's it going? And we'll keep talking, right? So, Brandy, you go ahead and shift.
Okay.
We'll give you a nice little ad. And then we're also going to give you that making falafel video, and then Brandy will be back. All right. See you on the flip side.
See y'all. Hey, so I am using some chickpeas that I already made this week for these falafels. Normally I would be using them from a can, but since I already had them, I decided to use these to save time. I already have my flavor spices in there, and I'm just going to add the kale, lemon juice, and garlic. Now, traditionally, the kale would probably be replaced with a cilantro or parsley, but since this is a kale falafel, we're putting kale in its place. Now, I am pulsing this and checking this mixture pretty regularly to make sure that I still have some texture in it and it doesn't end up being all like a hummus, like all mushy and stuff. So now I got it to the consistency that I like. I'm taking these balls, rolling them up, putting them onto a cookie sheet, and this mixture can be used for other things. Now, if you wanted to make a falafel burger, or if you wanted to make mini flat falafels versus the balls, the flat falafel is going to give you more of a crunch, like that's true to like a fried one. But this ball is going to have that crunchy outside and that soft inside, and I personally like that. That combination of textures through this. Now I'm putting these into the oven and we're gonna build our plate. All right, now guys, these falafels are done. These are them coming right out of the oven. As you can see, they're nice and crunchy on the outside. This is not my non-stick foil, so I don't think it is going to come off the bottom seamlessly. It's not, but they will still taste delicious. So I'm literally going to just construct this just a bowl, simple bowl, falafels on the side. Now, last week we talked about my love affair with the store Aldi's, and I want to have another, moment of my Aldi's love and share it with you guys. So this is a spring mix that I get from there. This is a 16-ounce crate of organic spring mix that I got from Aldi's. I paid $3.89 for this. So, like, again, if you are sleeping on Aldi's, I highly recommend you consider waking up. So I'm gonna put a few of these greens just into my basket, rinse them off with some purified water. Just give me 1 second to do that. All right, yes. Now I know like these containers say like triple washed, and some people are cool just like eating them out the container. I personally still feel the need to rinse them. A lot of times I will also rinse them with a little bit of, what do you call it? Apple cider vinegar and water. That's one of the ways that I clean my produce. I know they have these expensive produce cleaning solutions in the market. You don't need to use those. You could totally take a little bit of apple cider vinegar. And also baking soda, I found, works really well too. So just put a little baking soda into your water, and you'll be okay. Now I am going to end up treating these with some lemon juice. So I'm not going to worry about adding that extra acid from the apple cider vinegar. So this is going to be a really quick dish. So literally, we're talking a bed of lettuce. or spring mix, technically. I'm going to take some lemon juice, half a juice of a lemon, and just squeeze it on the top, right? I'm going to take a few of these falafel balls and just drop them into the middle. Now, this is something that the beauty of these balls is that they could be so versatile. Now, I'm putting them on top of a salad. You could literally put these on top of hummus. You can put them on top of rice. If you wanted to put them with pasta, you can do that as well. And another thing I like about these falafels is that they freeze really well. So right now, I made 8 of them. I'm using 4 in this dish, and then I'm going to pack the remainder away in my in a storage bowl, put them into my refrigerator, and then eat from them for the next maybe day or so. Right now, they also freeze really well, so that's another option too. If you wanted to make a ton, like say you wanted to make falafels for the month, you could do that. Put them on a cookie sheet so that they freeze individually, freeze them in a cookie sheet, and then store them in a bag and put them back into the freezer. Now, with this one, I am going to use a little bit of this this avocado. Just put it on the side. I literally just sliced it beforehand. Now, I personally always like adding in something more fresh, even if this wasn't a salad, which is probably as fresh as you can possibly get. Like if it was rice or something, I still like adding a bit of freshness to it. So I'm going to add some scallion. Now, if you had cilantro or parsley or anything like that, you can add that. It's totally fine. Now, just a fun fact. Now, I literally have not purchased what are these things called? Scallions in a long time. These things regenerate. They grow themselves back. So if you finish with your scallion, right, you end up with this nice little tip and this root. You can put those into a jar with some water, and they literally just like grow like crazy. So literally, I've been regrowing these organic scallions probably for the last 3 months, and they just keep growing back. So that's a tip. You can do the same thing, funny enough, with celery and romaine lettuce as well. Now, I am not successful at growing more than one thing at a time. That generational gift of green thumbage totally skipped me. So I just stick with one thing. Right now, I'm in scallion season. This is what's working. So this is where we are. So put a couple of scallions on top. I like sesame seeds. I think sesame seeds add, a nice crunch, nuttiness to a dish. And then this fun hot pepper sauce. And this is why I added the avocado. I have a friend who gave me this stuff. This stuff is delicious. It is potent. So that avocado is really gonna like cool things down. Literally, simple falafel kale bowl, and you can literally do whatever. You can make this however you want to. So, kale falafel, and we're gonna call this the what do we call it? The baked kale falafel over a bed of spring greens with spicy pepper sauce and avocado. So I will see you guys back to answer questions. Hang tight.
All right. Whoa. So remember, everybody, if you have questions, comments, let us know. And we do have one from Renee.
All right.
So here it is. What temperature did you have that oven on? Come on now.
Oh, 375. Yeah.
is there like some sort of logic to temperatures? Like, why 375? Why not 425? Why not 450? Why 275? Like, what is going on?
It's all about the speed that you want something to cook, at, right? So if you cut it up really high, the outside's going to cook quickly, but the inside might not still be cooked well. So what I did, well, actually, I started with 375, and then I actually turned it down to about 325, about 5 minutes before we started, just to kind of let it cook more slowly and keep it warm. So that's it. Like, I was in a baking talk or something earlier this week, and pastry chefs were talking about how they cook their cakes on 325. Everybody says 350. That's like the magic cake number. If you know anybody that baked growing up, and your mom always put the oven on 350. 325 will cook your cake slower and avoid that dome effect that comes when you sometimes like bake cake. So that's like, it's all about kind of how you want the end product to be.
Okay. So very interesting with that. Now, you use foil. What's the difference? When should you use foil? When should you use parchment paper? Help me.
These are preferences. If you have parchment paper, use parchment paper. If you have foil, use foil. What I will say is that when you're cooking without oil, parchment paper is more forgiving than any other layer of protection. I don't know what you call it, but it's more forgiving. Now, I tend to have there's Reynolds makes this non-stick foil, and not there's like the regular non-stick, and then there's like the non-stick in the gold and blue box. I didn't have any, so I went to go to like my regular grocery store, and they didn't have any, so I was like, I gotta get this. So it didn't release like it usually does, but the parchment paper would have released even though I didn't use oil.
Yeah, non-stick foil. I mean, nothing sticks to it. Now,
but it's a difference though. The non-stick, the regular quote unquote non-stick foil, no, like this that I use today is allegedly non-stick. But whatever that Reynolds one in the yellow and blue box, whatever they've done to that paper, it's consistently non-stick. It's crazy.
That's the only non-stick foil that I know. So if it's not Reynolds, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. Now, when you mentioned putting the falafel with pasta, what kind of sauce would you use?
Oh, I would use a ton of stuff. I mean, hummus is the obvious go-to. I would also use.
So you do hummus with pasta?
I use pasta with hummus. Yeah, totally. I would do that. I would do a red pepper sauce, like a roasted red pepper sauce with like garlic, and then throw that into the blender to like break it all down and just throw that on there. And not only red, like it's great with orange pepper sauce. So any roasted pepper sauce, the sweet ones though. So like the orange, the yellow, or the red.
Yeah, and we have a comment here from EMP Drea. What about tahini?
Oh yeah, tahini would be nice. I would zhuzh, so to say, tahini up. I wouldn't just throw it into a pasta on its own. Like I would add some water, add some garlic, probably add some nutritional yeast to it, and really kind of shift the consistency, because it can be a little tight. And with pasta, you want it to flow through the noodles.
Yeah, and EMP Drea was asking that, would you add some spice to it? Absolutely is the answer. Now, you talked about you can freeze the falafel. If you put it in the fridge, how long would it last in the fridge? What do you think?
Oh, about a week.
Yeah. Now, for the avocado, if you're going to the store to pick an avocado, how do you know which one to pick? Can you give us some tips?
It depends on when you want to use it. So if you want to use the avocado tonight, you want the avocado to have a little bit of give. Like when you squeeze it, you want it to have a little bit of give. You don't want to squeeze it and like it feels like you can like kind of push your hand all the way into it, because it might be a little over at that point, meaning that it's like probably like really brown and mushy. But you do want it to have a little give. Now, if you're planning to use it for something like I want to slice it and put it on a sandwich, or I want to slice it and put it in a bowl, the give will be, I would say the give can be a little less. If you want to use it in a guacamole, you want to go for something that's like, it's not like you can put your hand all the way through it because you don't want it to just be kind of mush. I personally like a guacamole with a little texture in it, but it can be a little salt. It can give a little more than if you're just going to use it for the sandwich. Now, if you're buying them, say, oh, there's an avocado sale, and oh my God, I just got to get all these avocados. Now, listen, if it's an avocado sale and they're all, like this, like you can smush them like this, you lost. It's unless you're using them today, like the day that you purchased them, you're going to be wasting your money, right? So you want to get something that still is literally a little hard so that it can soften over time and you don't end up wasting that produce. And a tip if you want to speed up the process of the ripening is you can put it into a brown paper bag. And you want to leave them on the counter, right? But when they reach the desired ripeness, you want to put them in a refrigerator. It will slow down the ripeness. Now, it's not going to, keep them fresh forever, but it will slow it down. So that's another tip for that.
Wow, that's great. And this is another reason why I won't be buying them. Are you crazy? I'm not doing all of that work for some avocado.
Mangoes, though. Like, mangoes have the same experience. You go and you squeeze them and you see the juice if you want to eat them today. And then if you want them, a week, you have to let them graduate. Mangoes are worth it. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
I'm just saying.
One more question, Brandy. Remember, everybody, if you have any other questions, let us know or comments. When you grow your scallions, which something about I'm like, this is like a science project. At first when I was thinking about it, but anyway, when you do that, you showed us you had a jar, but exactly how do you do it? What do you put the root in? Like, could you just explain that a little more?
Literally, you put it in a jar with little bit of water just to cover the root. The water is going to evaporate over time, get sucked into the universe, get sucked into the actual food. And then when you see that it's gone, you put a little more water in there. And that's literally it. I mean, there's been times where I forget. And I'm like, oh, right, my babies are looking a little dry. I need to go get some water. Like, I may have taken maybe a week over that. I'm like, oh, I forgot to add water to it. Because you don't know, because they just keep kind of regenerating kind of abundantly. But I go in, I throw the water in, rehydrate the roots. And yeah, that may be a couple of dry pieces layers that I'm going to peel off. But the other ones just keep coming back.
Okay. And do you leave it anywhere in particular?
I leave it on the windowsill. I'm not 100% sure if it matters. I don't get that much natural light. I also don't make a point to open up my shades every day. So it's not necessarily these things get light every day. I have no idea. I am not consistent with opening up, especially this time of year, with opening up my my shades. So they're pretty forgiving. And I think that's probably why I've been so successful with them, because everything else I bring in here kind of dies.
So good.
I have agreed them.
Well, look, let's not forget, speaking of success, there is a wonderful event that you're going to be a part of, Brandy, on Monday that will help us all be successful. And I believe it's Monday at noon Eastern time.
Yes.
So give us the details on that.
Yeah, so this is an event that will feature 2 doctors to help you use plant-based nutrition to support your heart and to prevent diabetes. And I am going to be the chef for that webinar to show you how to make a dish that I am calling Not So Dirty Rice. So it's my plant-based take on a Southern classic, dirty rice, and I'm going to show you how we can make that not so dirty and still enjoy it. It's a free event, and Dre's going to be dropping the details into the chat so you guys can register and enjoy. And it's a really cool lineup, and it should be a great time.
Yeah, it does look really good. I did sign up for it, so I'll see you there. Looking forward to that. So there we go. We're round 2 in KALEuary.
Yeah,
we have that, Brandy, right?
Yeah.
And we'll continue doing this throughout the month with different looks at how to use kale. I'm enjoying it. And kale for me is fine. It's all right. But I'm liking the different ways that you're showing us a look at it. And always keep in mind, you can swap kale for other things as well. Spinach is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I always go to that. So, Brandy, we will see you. I will be back next Wednesday at 4:30 Eastern time. That's when we're doing it.
Yes, 4:30 Eastern.
Okay. And coming up there is kale pesto.
Yeah.
I wonder what you're going to do with that. That sounds very good. So take us out, Brandy, and then after that, we'll give you a wonderful shot of the dish.
All right. So thank you guys for joining us for Entrepreneur Meal Plan Review, where we review different ways that you can incorporate plant-based foods into your diet to help you be more productive and indirectly profitable. So until the next time, remember that doing business and life well is beneficial.
And on that note, we'll see you next week, everybody. Bye, Brandy.
Bye.